Welcome to today's interview with Leigh Brandon. Leigh is a Czech Institute faculty member, Czech Level 4 practitioner, Czech Level 3 holistic lifestyle coaching practitioner, a certified metabolic typing advisor, functional diagnostic nutritionist, author of The Anatomy of Yoga for Posture and Health, Anatomy of Sports Injuries for Fitness and Rehabilitation, and Anatomy for Strength and Fitness Training for Speed and Sport, and his latest ebook, Axe Adult Acne. He is, of course, the creator of the Metabolic Typing Coaching Success Program, which is going to be largely the topic of what we're going to discuss today. And through all of these different offerings, Leigh's mission is to help as many people as possible to reach their health and performance potential so they can live more productive, fulfilling, and happier lives. Wow, Leigh, I'm exhausted just reading all of that. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Brett. Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's obviously, as a personal trainer myself, and I've been through metabolic typing training. This is kind of personally quite interesting for me to hear what you're going to say. I've heard a lot of it before, but it's going to be good because you've done a few of these metabolic typing success programs now, and I'm sure it's getting better and better every time.
Cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Fantastic. So, Leigh, firstly, can you explain a little bit more about metabolic typing in general for those people who might not have a clue at all what it is?
Metabolic typing really enables a person to understand what foods are right for them. We've known for many, many years that we're all biochemically individual, and what that basically means is we all have a different nutritional requirement. So metabolic typing is a method to find out what's right for you, and generally what determines what's right for us initially is our genetics. So obviously our genes are passed on through the family, but also our current environment will also affect what foods are right for us. So it's really a way for people to find out the right diet for them, rather than just eating a generic diet that, is generally published in the media these days.
Yeah, you hear these things every single week or even day, over the summer. There's this new diet, this new thing that's in, and it's important to find out what is right for each individual person, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So this program, however, of yours, the Metabolic Typing Success Coaching Program, is actually not to find out about metabolic typing and how it can help you, but it's for metabolic typing advisors and coaches to help their clients. Is that right?
Absolutely. One of the things that I've found, I've been in the industry now since 1996, so 17 years, it's quite a long time. And the one thing that I found with a lot of practitioners and professionals is the biggest challenge they often have is they might have really good knowledge, but it's actually getting the client to do the things that they need to do to be successful, whether it's to lose weight or to increase energy or get rid of an injury. So the problem often is actually motivating the client. So the program goes through a series of processes that clearly enables the practitioner to uncover the motivations of the client, and then processes to help them through the processes they need to do to be successful.
Okay. I think that's hugely valuable. Like I said, I'm a personal trainer as well, and it's so hard when you're so motivated to help someone, but if they aren't motivating themselves, it's just impossible. The old thing, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. It's one of those, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, if we look at health in general in the Western world, there's such a big reliance on the medical system, but if people took more responsibility for their own health, they just wouldn't need the medical establishment as much as they do at the moment.
Yeah, that's kind of where we could segue, couldn't we, into like a political, economical discussion about how your program can actually help the economic climate at the moment. But we'll stick to that for another conversation. Just for now, so do you have to be a metabolic typing advisor to do your course, or is it just generally for the general health and fitness practitioner to learn strategies on dealing with people, or would it be advantageous to people to be a metabolic typing advisor?
What I would say is the techniques that are learned on this course would help anybody that does any kind of health or fitness coaching. So you could apply any of the techniques to your job. So if you're a personal trainer, if you're a nutritionist, anything along those lines, the techniques would help you absolutely. The only thing I would say is that the program was specifically written for metabolic typing advisors. So during the program, it's a 6-week program, and once a week we have a 1-hour teleconference call where all the practitioners go online with myself and they ask me questions. So a lot of the questions often are very specific to metabolic typing, but that doesn't mean that someone who's not a metabolic typing advisor won't benefit from doing the program.
Yeah, that makes sense. So from the top, it's basically less about the actual practical nutritional suggestions and more about how to get it across to the client.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Back to what I said quite early on. Why do you think there's so many different sort of diet protocols on the market? So why are we hearing a new thing every day or week?
It really goes back to what I said about metabolic typing. Because we're all biochemically individual, because we have an individual nutritional requirement, some people do well on a diet that's, say, high in carbohydrates, and that would be fantastic for them. But yet someone else would do well on something that's very high in fat and protein, for instance. And then there'll be people in the middle that do well with an equal mixture of carbohydrates and fats and proteins. So any diet out there will be successful to some people, or at least, a lot of them will, perhaps not all of them. So someone might have read a particular dieting book full of the recommendations, got great results, and then they've told all their friends about, you've got to do this diet because it's really good. And then their friends do the diet, but it doesn't work. But yet they can go and read another book, do another diet, and it will work for them. So I think the one thing that, if I had a message for everybody, it would be to understand that there isn't a one-size-fits-all diet that's going to be good for everybody, and that you've got to find what works for you. So that's why I think there's so many books out there and so much confusion, is because people are looking for the diet, and I don't think the diet exists. I think every diet has to be individual to the person.
And in your opinion, am I right in saying that it depends on what that person defines, results or success as? So is it just about losing weight, or is it actually about health at a more general level? Because I think metabolic typing is kind of helpful in that regard, isn't it? It's not just about how quickly can I burn the pounds off.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, again, if we're talking about metabolic typing, if you want to lose weight, it's a great way to do it, to find out your metabolic type, because what it helps to do is to normalize all of your bodily systems. And when you have all the systems in your body in balance, or what we call homeostasis, then everything will normalize, and that would include your weight. So, I've had 9 years experience as a metabolic typing advisor, and I've seen some people lose weight very, very quickly, and I've seen other people lose it slowly. But the key thing is that they've lost it at the right rate for them. Mm-hmm. And I think one thing also that's really important to understand is that sometimes people lose weight very quickly, but if they're very toxic at the beginning, the human body holds toxins in the fat cells predominantly, because it's trying to stop it damaging the nervous system and your organs and your glands. Now, if you lose weight or body fat very quickly, what can happen is that those toxins then start damaging the nervous system, the hormonal system, and the internal organs. And whilst you might be losing a lot of weight, you might be causing yourself much more serious problems further down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's amazing. I've always been fascinated by it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So this is obviously stuff you...
Sorry, I was just going to say, metabolic typing, because all you're doing is normalizing the body, and it aids the natural detoxification at a cellular level, it enables people to lose weight at the right rate for them.
Yeah, which is perfect. And I think when people always try and keep up with the Joneses as well, and they're like,
Yes.
Mary lost weight at this rate, so I want to lose weight at this rate. And it's, again, like you say, not always safe. So metabolic typing is a safe way to do it.
And that's a big challenge that as professionals we have, is that, you know, our clients are often comparing themselves to others. But what's important to understand is that, okay, their best friend might be losing more weight than them, but does their best friend have the same genetics? Does their best friend have the same levels of stress in their life? Does the best friend eat as good a diet or you know, a better diet, or can they afford better food, etc.? So the key message, I think, for every professional is to make sure their clients understand that they shouldn't compare themselves to anybody else. But as long as they're improving, that's the important thing.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, all this stuff you've learned over the last 9+ years. What's the? I don't want to give away too much of your course, but so tell us as much or as little as you want to. And let's expand this to not just metabolic typing advisors, but those people who are generally working in the fitness and health fields. What's the one sort of starting point for these clients? So I concur with you that the majority of people coming in, they are these people comparing themselves to other people. They're probably more concerned with the aesthetic as opposed to their health, although they might quickly learn that their health is important as well. But what's the starting point with all these clients?
The first thing that I always do with every client, and this is something that we also teach at the CHEK Institute, is you've got to find out what someone's dream is, or you've got to find out what their goals are. And more importantly than that, not only do you need to understand what their goals are, so let's say someone comes to you and they say, okay, I want to lose weight. The key thing you need to establish is what are their core values. So why is it they want to lose weight? What will that help them achieve? Or how will their life benefit from losing the weight? Because whilst people come to you because they want to lose weight, they often don't really understand the motivation behind losing the weight. It could be that they want to play sport again, or they want to look good in a dress, or they don't want their children to be picked on because they're fat, or whatever their motivation is. You've really got to uncover the deepest motivation possible, because as a practitioner, without that knowledge, it's very difficult to motivate someone when they're going through a hard period. So part of what I teach on the course is how to ask the right questions and how to listen effectively to find out someone's goals and core values.
Yeah, so it's not just about telling them what to eat. It's so much more than that.
Absolutely, because you can have the best diet program in the world, you can have the best exercise program in the world, but if the client doesn't do it, how effective is that going to be?
I think that's huge. That's really valuable. Thank you for sharing that with everybody.
No problem.
So what's the overall format of the course? You mentioned that each week for 6 weeks they have a phone call. What other materials do they get? How do they learn? Yeah,
so it's a 6-week course. Every week they get a video. It's a pre-recorded video, and in each week is a different lesson. So there are 6 key lessons throughout the course. There's also an accompanying ebook that they get as part of the course as well. And they get the teleconference call every week so in each lesson every week, the person gets tasks to complete. So it might be in week 1, the first thing they're going to try is how to screen clients. Because this is another thing that I find is a mistake that a lot of practitioners make, is that if they're approached by someone, they will take that client on no matter what. Now, the downside to doing that is if someone's not ready to change, they won't make the necessary changes to achieve results. They will then blame the practitioner that their program doesn't work. So that's really bad PR, whereas what you really want is to make sure that you only take on people that are ready for change, are going to get great results, and then tell everyone how good you are. So in week 1, I get the practitioners to start practicing how to screen their clients. And we do this, which is basically part of a free consultation before you would take the client on. So during the conference call on week 1, it might be, okay, so how have you gotten on during the screening process? What challenges did you have? And then during the coaching call, I will actually coach them through any challenges that they're having. So not only am I helping them to overcome their challenge, I'm also showing them how to coach. So it's kind of a double whammy, really.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's again hugely valuable information for anyone listening to who's going to go straight back into their business after hearing this. Is that it's not just about the client choosing you, but you're choosing the client as well, and that's puts you in a great position of power. Absolutely. Yeah, very cool. So that's the format of the course. Fantastic. So your course is for metabolic typing advisors looking to take their business to the next level, or as we've ascertained, any health and fitness professionals. If you were to choose people, okay, so we've just asked the question and you've told us how practitioners can choose their clients. Yeah. Who do you think your course is ideally suited for? So the people that are listening today, who do you want to visit your website and sign up? What type of people? I think anyone that has what I think is the biggest challenge for most health and fitness professionals, which is getting their clients to do the things that they need to do when you're not with them. So it's all well and good, if you've got personal training clients and you're training them 3 times a week, that's fantastic, that's great, you've got that bit nailed. But what if you're only training them once a week? Are they doing their other sessions in the week? Are they eating the right diet? Are they getting to bed on time? Are they drinking enough water? Are they, at least cutting down on things like alcohol? Well, if they're not, and you're struggling to get to that level where you can really motivate people to make the right changes, then this course is for those people. Cool. There's going to be a lot of people out there who are coming across those exact same challenges. Personally, I know I do sometimes as well, so I'm glad to have a reminder from you as well to screen my clients more carefully. So what's the biggest success story you've had with the coaching program so far? So what have the practitioners gone on to achieve afterwards? Generally the feedback has been very positive. I've had it's roughly about 100 people have gone through the program. Cool. But I had one particular guy, and he'd not long finished his training with metabolic typing. And whilst he had, the base level of knowledge, his thought process was, well, okay, so what do I do now? I almost don't know where to start. And one thing I find, again, with a lot of health and fitness professionals, they don't really know how to structure their business or how to structure communications with their clients. So this guy went through the 6-week program, and about 3 weeks after he'd completed the program, he sent me an email to tell me that he had a waiting list of clients because he was so busy. And, pretty much put that down to what he'd learned on the program. I think that's the dream of all personal trainers or anyone in any service industry, actually. In fact, we could turn this interview out and get everyone, every service industry doing it. But it's to have a waiting list, isn't it? And to actually have people knocking at your door for you all day and all night. Absolutely. Fantastically. Yeah. How can people find out more and eventually sign up? They can go to the website, which is mtcoachingsuccess.com, and there's pretty much all the information they'll need on the website. If they need more information after looking at the website, they can always email me, and my email address is Leigh. My first name is spelled Leigh, and that's at mtcoachingsuccess.com. Fantastic. Thank you very much for your information today and your time, Leigh. And no problem. I wish you the best of luck, and everybody taking on your course the best of luck in their businesses too. Great. Thanks for having me today, Brett. It's good chatting to you. You're welcome. Thanks, Leigh.